everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Saga Valhalla, where we play Assassins Creed Valhalla and tell Viking stories. Now, in this episode, we're going to join with
the day is new and the
this
air
lady
is bracing.
here.
Are you ready for the fight ahead?
Let's take your city back.
Take a city.
That's what I like to hear. Meet me at the western gate of Grantbridge. We've assembled there.
Have care you do not enjoy taking orders from anyone but your Jarl back home. I fight for Sigurd, none else.
While you're on this ship, Dak, you fight for me, and for Soma's loyalty. We fight for her.
Alright, so this is, I'm going to tell a story for the Battle of York, and this is actually a two-part story, because there was the taking of York, and then there was the keeping of York. Which is quite interesting. It also takes place during the time frame slightly before this this game takes place. So, in the winter of 966, well, 966, 967, around in there. I can't remember exactly. I know that the second part of this story takes place in 967, and it was the winter before that spring, so it could have been the eve of the year. However, the Great Heathen Army landed in England, and they moved in and actually gained some support from the people in England. And that is important because these people offered them aid during the winter and offered to give them rations and food and stuff during the winter time, which means they could raid during the winter. And they moved north to York, which was in Northumbria. Now, the Northumbrian army and King Aella were not expecting an attack during the winter. Nobody attacked during the winter because it was harder to march an army during the winter due to things like food shortages and all of that. So the Great Heathen Army marched north during the winter time. I'm having some trouble figuring out where exactly to land this boat. That's fun.
Raise the mast!
However, they marched north to York, and the Northumbrian army seemed to be doing okay at first, but they were shortly overtaken due to the fact that it was a surprise. They were completely caught by surprise. They were not prepared for the attack, and they were unable to defend the city. Had they been prepared for it, York was a decent stronghold. It was the capital of Northumbria, and there's a possibility that they could have held it for a good while. Maybe long enough for the Vikings to think it wasn't worth it.
Sing, my ravens.
But they were unable to keep the city. The Vikings stormed the gates, they broke into the city, and Aella fled along with his men, and they kept the city for a good few months. Now, March 21st of 967, Aella, along with another king named Osbert, decided that they were going to take Aella's city back. This proved to be detrimental to both Aella and Osbert, but they decided they were going to take the city back.
When you get the signal and not a moment before.
Hold on, we'll listen to her, and then we'll continue this story, because I know they're going to talk.
Wigmund! Honor thief! I know you're up there. Return Grantbridge to me, Wigmund. No more of our people need die. We may talk this out, lord to lord.
What have we to talk about? You have nothing I need. Worth by birth, heathen. I was born a noble. You were plucked from a giant's armpit.
I built this town. From a mud hut to a thriving port. And we both know you'll bleed those riches dry without my guiding hand.
Leave. Go die in the muck where you belong, heathens.
Wigmund, let's try one final time. Quit Grantbridge. And when she is mine once more, I may spare your life.
Ha! I command Grantbridge. I am master here. And I will scour you rats from this land like rot from a festering wound.
Let me give you some advice, old bear. The surest way to stop a wound from festering isn't with a blade. It's with fire.
Hooray!
Now!
Boom.
Thanes of
All right.
Grantbridgeshire, retake what is yours!
So the Northumbrian army, when they moved on York, of course it was their city. They knew all the ins and outs. They knew how to get in. They knew everything they needed to know about that city. And it was only a few short months in between when it was taken. So there wasn't a lot of available time for the Vikings to truly fortify this city in a way that would keep someone who knows the ins and outs and the walls and everything about that city out.
What has Wigmund done to her?
And they were able to breach the walls. The Northumbrians breached the walls and they were able to get into the city. Narrow streets and everything actually worked to the Vikings' advantage as they were able to funnel the Northumbrians down into ambush territories and things like that. They gained the upper hand.
I'm at your side, Showman.
And there was a great deal of fighting that happened there in the streets. There were
Fucking try it.
a lot of people who died in this battle,
I haven't
and
seen Wigmund since
to the
we
point
breached the
of
wall.
that
Regroup at
King
the
Ayla
Longhouse.
and
We'll surely find
Osbert
him
were
there.
both captured and killed. Now, the Northumbrian account of this, all it says is that Ayla was captured and killed. It actually says both of those kings were captured and killed. And whereas the Viking account doesn't really say anything about Osbert, the Norse account absolutely talks about what happened to Ayla. The armies of the Great Heathen Army was led by Ubba and Ivar the Boneless, who were brothers,
No prisoners.
and
No
they
mercy.
were the sons of Ragnar Lothbrok. Now,
Getting tired.
we discussed Ragnar not too long ago. The weirdness that history has decided about him. But, like I said, I'm going to go with the actual Viking tales, and we are going to continue forward from there. Ragnar, some years prior, was captured by King Ayla and thrown into a snake pit and was killed. And when Ubba and Ivar captured King Ayla, they wished to send a message, but they also wished to avenge their father. And so Ayla was taken and blood-eagled, and the blood eagle, which usually reserved for the worst of enemies, or the most dishonorable of Vikings, was a method of execution in which they would take an axe and they would actually chop the ribs away from the spine and splay those out and remove the lungs from the body through the back and lay them over the shoulders, all of which was done while the person was alive. And in fact, actually, the lungs setting up on the shoulders, the person was still somewhat able to breathe.
You cannot hide from me forever. Come face
quite-
your death.
Quite a horrible way to die. And with the lungs on the shoulders, it was said to look like the crest of the wings of the folded wings of an eagle. That's why it was called a blood eagle. It was quite a horrible way to die. But the Norse account says that they blood eagled Ayla for the death of their husband. And they managed to keep York and would later march into Wessex after that. I hope you enjoyed the story. It's an interesting one. It's one that a lot of people know. It was featured in the show Vikings, but it's still a very interesting story. And in the show Vikings, I believe the Battle of York, which was actually two separate battles, takes place all in one battle. So
No sign of Wigmund here. He may be
interesting to
hiding
know that
within
it
the
was
city
two.
walls. Shall we search?
No. He'll be gone. Count on it. Arger coward. But we've struck a bold claim today. Walk with me. I want you to sound our battle horn to announce our victory. Let all the Shire know that Grantbridge is retaken. The sound of the horn means prosperity, long life, bounty.
Why me?
Why not? You were the keystone to this attack. You turned the tide. Let the wind from your lungs breathe life back into my city.
Very nice. So, in either case, we're going to blow this horn, we're going to talk to her a little bit, and then we're going to get out of here for this week. But I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you enjoyed the battle. Everybody, please come back next week. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. And maybe we can make this show better. But in either case, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Look at you all! Warriors! Handsome! Beautiful! Blood-soaked! Grantbridge is ours once again! Tomorrow, you will stamp out the last of Wigmund's fading fires. But tonight, we feast as gods! Hey! My clan throws the best feasts, I think you'll find. You enjoy yourself?
I did. But were you celebrating or mourning? You looked unsure.
The night of the attack, I heard sounds of bloodshed coming from the Longhouse. In moments, the city was overrun with Saxons, so I called a retreat. We all have our one day, but not like that. Not that day.
I've heard this before. That the Saxons appeared as if from the shadows.
In all my time in Grantbridge, this tunnel was my most careful project. The best kept secret in the city.
Now 100 or more Saxons know the smell of it.
The only people who knew about this tunnel were me, and the 3 in my inner circle.
You believe you were betrayed?
I know I was.
By whom?
That is where I hesitate. Between Leif, Galin, and Birna, I cannot say. But they are the 3 who helped me dig this in secret. I hoped you might lend me your wits. You are a fresh ally. I could use your eyes and ears.
I promised you I'd help secure your city. That task isn't yet done, it seems.
Good. I sent Galin, Leif, and Birna to destroy what remains of Wigmund's power throughout the Shire. Meet with them. Raid with them. Get to know them as best as you can. Find out which of them betrayed me.
A betrayal so wicked, I cannot imagine. Yet someone willing to break an oath like that must bear some sign or defect.
I need clear, sound judgment. I need you, Eivor.
You have me.
Thank you. Feel free to take a look around as you wish. Search the city, the tunnel, and here, a gift, for retaking Grantebridge with us. One of the few things I have left from my blood family.